Hi, and welcome to another episode of the World Wars channel. Today, I thought I wanted to do something special, so I decided to make a tutorial since my other video, the time-lapse one, did so good. I think you guys would like this because it's overall just cool to be able to draw your own planes and also record them. I think it's really cool. So until further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. So now that I have my sketchbook, I'm going to get the rest of my materials, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I have all my materials that I need, the next thing I want to talk about is figuring out what you want to draw. Now, it can be a modern plane, an old plane like a biplane, or it can be a World War II plane, my favorite to draw. So in this book, it's called The Plane Spotter's Guide. I like to use it because it's basically a visual encyclopedia. And right here, it gives you like how to draw it. So if I wanted to draw a Stuka for one of my videos, a Ju 87, the real name is a Stuka, well, Junkers Jew, but people call it the Stuka. So right here, this is how I get my like insignia kind of and my numbers. How I get all my detail on the plane. Right here, like you can see the tire, how it's made. You can see kind of a little bit of camo. You can see that there's like this. So I use this as reference. So I use it to draw my plane. And when I start out, I usually make my outline first. So first you always want to do your outline. I'm going to get working on that and then I'll come back. I'm doing the Stuka. Alright, so now that I have my outline, pretty nice if I do say so myself, I like to go into color. So what you need to do to figure out color is, what I do first is I look, you can see there's like a lighter green there and then a darker green. I see that we're going to use black and white. I'm not going to use the swastika for certain purposes. And then I'm going to need a little bit of yellow and then a little bit of black just to color in the rest of the plane. I personally do not do the wings because it is very, very, very hard to get the angle right and all the like dimensions and stuff. But I did do some of this detail. It looks like this, as you can see. It's not the best, but it's kind of the best It's kind of the best representation I can get. And I also don't go into a bunch of detail on the cockpit, and I don't do the back gun also in detail. I just give that basic representation so you know what it is. So now, as colors wise, I'm gonna go over here. So let's look around and let's try and find, so I'm gonna look around here and get some of the colors I'm gonna need, and I'll come back in a sec. Alright, so now that I have all my outlining down, you can kind of see all the lines everywhere. That's gonna be my camo. I forgot to add the tail piece. So I added that, and so now we're gonna color it in. And by the way, I chose, it looks like a blue, but it's called slate. It's basically a gray. I think it's nicer than the black because the black colored pencils from Crayola is like really, really, really black and it kind of messes it up. So this one's going to be lighter on the eyes and definitely nicer. So now that we have, if you're following along, the lines or the outline for the camo and some of the details, like I put in the other cross for the German symbol, that they used during World War II, I'm going to get into coloring. So I'll be back and I'll record some of the coloring. So as you can see, I've just finished the camo and I'm starting on the numbers. I don't really know what they're called. After I finish these, I'm going to do the yellow on the star and then do a tiny little bit of shading on this so it doesn't look so plain. By the way, this is the siren. If you know what the Stuka sounds like, it sounds really like a violin playing a long note for a long time. And people identified it that way, so that's how they knew. If they heard like the scream or the violin noise, they knew a Stuka was coming. it was supposed to strike fear in the enemy's hearts. So that's what I'm doing so far, and I'll catch up with the final project. All right, so there is my finished thing, and one thing I always like to do at the end is write what it is at the top. So let me write that really quick, and I'll be right back. Let me just give you a good look at the finished thing. So if you followed all my steps correctly, you can do this with any plane you'd like, and you'd come up with a nice result. So let me just get these letters in, and I'll show you it nicely too. All right, so that's my final thing to do with this tutorial. I really hope you liked it, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. Remember to subscribe, and I hope you liked the video. Bye!